Welcome back again to Read, Write, Local, Unbound, the show where we talk every Tuesday night to authors in our area and around the area about some of the books they've been writing and what they've been reading and find out how we can do some of this for ourselves. Okay, our second guest tonight on Tuesday, June 1st is Rox Siles, Dr. Rox Siles, who is here to talk about a book that she came up with as an idea you've had for a while, but the pandemic really brought it out. So why don't you just introduce yourself and talk a little bit about how this came to be?
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm so appreciative of being here with everybody. This story of Charlie the Turtle is very dear to me because it's really something that my son and I did it together. And he was a kindergartner at the time when we wrote Charlie's story. And it basically started with a night that we couldn't decide what book to read. So we decided to come up with our own story. And it really sat on our desktop for a couple of years. And during the pandemic, I saw the beautiful art of my illustrator, Monica Kimmel, who is a photographer. But during the pandemic, she was just out in the streets drawing with chalk. And she was posting pictures of what she drew. And, her talent amazed me. So I messaged her and I said, hey, I have this story. Would you be interested to bring it to life? And I think she did an amazing job. So this is a brand new, area for both of us. It's a story of two strangers coming together and bringing Charlie to life. I am not, I work as a physician. So this was really something that kept me busy during weekends and evenings. And it's been so much fun. And I've learned so much and met such great people and got such wonderful support from the community. And it's just been wonderful.
And it looks to me like our illustrator, Monica, has joined us.
Oh, great.
So I'm just asking you to unmute if you want to just say hi. How are you doing?
Hi, everyone. Very excited about today.
Thank you for joining us. So I just briefly went over our story, how we met. And it's funny because we really just met in person maybe a month ago, but we've been working together virtually since November or something like that. But
Beauty of technology.
Yes. So Monica, if you want to say a few words.
I just wanted to say that this experience has opened up so many new avenues for me. I'm currently illustrating my second book, and working with Rox was just a dream come true. And I'm ever so grateful. And I can't believe this has all come to light and that we are now doing book readings of Little Charlie.
That's
Great.
right.
And we can do a virtual book reading because you've got all queued up and you're gonna read it for us, right?
Sure. So, we could certainly, so it's a very quick story and I hope you enjoy it. It's called Charlie the Turtle and the Muddy Birthday Cake. Again, it's written by yours truly, Rox Siles, and illustrated by Monica. And this book was written based on the imagination and creativity of my son, Alejandro. And we dedicate this book to the Ninja Squad. So it's a cold winter day, and Charlie woke up very excited because it was Willie's birthday party. Willie was Charlie's best friend. Charlie quickly got dressed and went outside to dig up a few worms and crickets. He wrapped them inside a box with a big green bow. Charlie knew these critters were Willie's favorite treats. They will make the perfect gift, he thought. Charlie couldn't wait for 2 o'clock to come by. He planned to swim across the pond, play with his friends, and eat a very yummy muddy birthday cake. Charlie wished time would hurry up. He finished all of his homework. He played with his baby sister. He even helped his mom with the laundry. Is it time yet? Is it time yet? Charlie asked his mom. Just a few more minutes, darling, she answered. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Ring. Yay, finally, Charlie shouted. He ran toward the pond and jumped in. Bump, ouch. He tried again. Bump, ouch. And again. Bump, ouch. Wait a minute, said Charlie. The pond is frozen. How will I get across the pond now? He pondered. Charlie thought carefully. I will run and slide across the pond, he decided. He ran and slid, but he didn't get very far. He ran a little faster and slid again, but he barely got halfway across the pond. Oh no, Charlie didn't want to be late to the party. What will he do now? Charlie had a great idea. He grabbed a broken tree limb and decided to push his way across the pond. I will row like a boat, he planned. Got it, Charlie shouted with excitement. Crack! Moments later, the ice became too thin and Charlie fell right through it. The pond water was way too cold and Charlie began to feel like he was stuck inside an ice cube. Brr. Charlie then thought to himself, this was a bad idea. I will not go across a frozen pond again. Charlie slowly got to the other side of the pond. Thankfully, there was a nice beam of light to help him warm up and dry off. I made it, Charlie thought as he ran to the party. Charlie arrived right on time to the party. All of his friends were there. Happy birthday, Willie, said Charlie. Thank you for coming to my party, Willie replied. I wouldn't miss it for the world, Charlie said as he enjoyed a slice of a very muddy birthday cake. That's what friends are for, Charlie said with a smile. Never give up. You'll always find a way to reach your goals, but remember to never go across a frozen pond. And there's the original artwork of Charlie the Turtle by Alejandro H. The end.
All right.
Oh, that's really cool.
And that's
Thank you very much.
Monica and I. So thank you. Let's see if I can. So
I can stop it if you like here. We'll just
yeah, that'd be great.
Right. We stop the sharing. We're back to seeing
Thank
everybody's
you.
faces big again. Okay, well,
Yeah.
thank you for the reading and for introducing the book to us. Now the book is available at Avon Lake Public Library, and not just this book, but there's another version of it, right?
Yes. So one thing I didn't mention at the beginning of the show is that I was born in South America. I was born in Bolivia, and I moved to the States when I was 11. And so Spanish is my first language, but you know, I've been in the States for over 35 years at this point. And you know, I thought growing up how nice it is to have books available. And particularly, there's not a whole lot of Spanish books out there, particularly in my home country. So I decided to publish both in English and Spanish. And so it's been great. It's so Carlitos is Charlie's, I guess, cousin, Spanish cousin. Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. But yeah.
Because you mentioned that, yes, growing up, you didn't really have a huge selection of children's books. They were mostly folk tales in translation, but very little original things. And so now you've got something that people can enjoy in Latin America and elsewhere. And
Yeah.
you're going to do something special with you're going to use this as a fundraiser for some good causes, correct?
Yes. So my whole goal for this was to have fun and basically teach my, you know, go in this journey together with my son. So now I want to give back. I think that's the goal. One thing I did learn along the way is that it's expensive to self-publish, which I didn't really appreciate that until I got into it. But certainly my goal is to, as I recover some of the starting costs, I have, my family has through the years donated to an orphanage in Bolivia. And my goal is to find a publisher in Bolivia, because there's no Amazon in Bolivia, so that it could be printed and it could be sold there with proceeds going to the orphanage. And in the US, my goal, so one thing that is important to me is the hospital, kids in hospitals. You know, my son was actually hospitalized for almost a week when he was 4 years old. And the child care services did an amazing job with us. They really made the experience as good as it could be with all things considered. And so I'm hoping to be able to do a fundraiser later in the year. So at least during the holiday season, we can just donate books for kids to enjoy, especially if they're spending time at the hospital. The second book that is going to be published here for Christmas in July is actually a book about Santa Claus. And I want to make sure kids have the opportunity to see that book as well during the holiday time.
Okay, so that one's on its way, you said pretty soon, like hopefully in a month or something like that?
Yes. So what's interesting is that the electronic version is currently available to download, but the actual paperback and the hardcover book is going to be officially released in July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, your specialty is you're a respiratory allergist. That's your thing. Do you work with a lot of kids in that field, or is it all ages, or what is that part of what you want to give back to as well?
Yeah, so I do see children down to age 6. I don't see the little ones, but I do see 6 and up. And one of the areas of interest to me is treatment of asthma. And so what I would like to do is create a character that is able to, teach about asthma and what it's like, and that you can actually do what you want to do despite having asthma. So that's down the line. That's one of my brainstorming areas, but I'm excited to start introducing some medical concepts into my books.
No, that's an alpaca, isn't it?
Yes. So actually, Paco de Alpaca. So again, growing up in Bolivia, I grew up, watching llamas and alpacas run free through the mountains, and they're kind of remind me of the homeland, if you will.
Or Medina County, lately.
Yes. And so actually, last October, we went to visit a farm in Medina, and that inspired me to create Paco de Alpaca. And I'm hoping in the future I'm able to showcase them with different, different stories. But again, that would be a little bit down the line at this point.
Yes. Well, I did see an alpaca pinata at Charlie's birthday party there. So yes.
Yes. And actually, what's really fun about Charlie's birthday party, if I go back, so let me just share my screen one more time. So what's truly special is that, I don't know if you could see, but there is my dog, Tika. Can you see it or not?
Are you screen sharing?
Let me try again.
Did I turn it off somehow? Hold on. Advanced sharing options. Oh, there it comes.
Okay, there we go. So at the party, there is my doggy Tika and my doggy Jazz that Monica was able to bring to life. And her doggy is also here. And some of, a lot of things were inspired by Monica. In fact, if we go back to the scene, that's Monica's, my understanding, although I haven't been, that's your dining room. Is that right, Monica?
Close.
Close.
Very close. That's my photograph in the left-hand corner.
Yes. but the plants, you're very much into organic plants, and she,
Yes.
you know, this was nice to include that. So again, this is it's got little hidden meanings in the background, yes, but there is a piñata, which is awesome.
Mhm.
There it is.
So, Monica, why did you decide to start drawing on chalk all over the place? Just what hit you over the head that said, I got to do this all over town?
Oh, easy story. I'm a wedding photographer, and because of COVID, everything got shut down. And I do a lot of chalk drawings in my own driveway when we have guests come over to our house for a party. Just a little welcome drawing. So I was sitting around very bored, and I grabbed my chalk and went up and down the neighborhoods, drawing all over the driveways and sidewalks and then I would take photos, post those photos to Facebook pages, and encourage people to get outside, go for a family walk, go up and down the neighborhoods, get some vitamin D, some exercise. And then that just started snowballing, where I was starting to take requests. People would write in and ask for Star Wars characters or Marvel characters. And somebody wanted a sloth and palm trees and sunshine. I mean, this all started from March 2020, before we even had Easter. And I just kept it going all the way until until the first snow, like I would say November, but did every holiday. I did a lot of Snoopy, Peanuts characters. So that was just to encourage people to get outside. And that led to Rox.
Mm-hmm. You led to
Wow.
each other.
Yeah.
But you hadn't planned on making a book, I suppose, and now you're making books for other people too, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, this whole thing just keeps growing and growing. And I'm okay with not going back to shooting weddings anytime soon. I did that for 18 years. And it is a lot easier to draw characters than to get a flower girl to stop crying for photographs. Gotta say. A lot
Understandable.
easier. And it's a lot more fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking at this point, why don't we just go back to you over here and ask you, Rox, is there anything lately also that you're reading that is inspiring you to do things, or just tell us about something you've been reading lately, like we were talking with Beth, that is keeping you going? Is it stuff to your son mostly, or stuff for your own joy?
So this is where, you know, putting others first and then putting yourself last. You know, honestly, if I do have time to just be on my own and read, I do read a lot of spiritual, you know, the Bible. I read a lot of that. I definitely am into leadership, John Maxwell. But lately, I feel that sometimes there's great podcasts out there. But one of the books that I really like, which was great, is The Coffee Bean, which is a very short, quick read, but it gets to the point how you can make a change in your environment. And so, you know, I'm not reading as much as I would like to. But yeah, if I do, it's more trying to figure out how to market my book these days and how to get an ISBN code and a barcode, and how to keep up with promotions, and that's what I'm doing lately. So, but yeah.
That's one thing a lot of people who write a book find out about. It's like writing the book is one thing, producing it, making it. Now you've got a box of books. What do I do with them?
That's right.
Creating that demand sort of thing. So what's that been like? And your book is in Barnes and Noble, right? You can go over to Crocker Park and get it there.
Yeah, so actually it was great this weekend. We took a little stroll there and we were able to see Charlie in the bookstore, which was great. And again, it is available at the Avon Lake Public Library and the Westlake Public Library also.
Good.
But again, this is a completely new area for me. So, you know, how to self-publish, how to upload, how to format, how to edit, how to, you know, get beta readers. And by the way, children are the toughest critics. I had to revise with some of the versions of the book with my nephew a few times before he could approve it. So, you know.
They don't hold back.
Oh yeah, no, they are not shy about telling you what they like and what they don't like, which is great. But But certainly you have to have a little bit of tough skin because you think this is great. And they're like, no. And that's okay. It's been a learning experience for all.
Yes, that's the best thing if it can be one of those kinds of experience.
Yeah.
Monica, do you have anything to say about reading? Is there anything that's been really inspiring you lately that you'd like to share with us?
I don't know about inspiring, but we just did our first book signing, Rox and I.
Oh, okay.
We went to an art gallery in Avon and they allowed us to set up, and we were able to sell books, as well as if you had already purchased the book on Amazon, you were able to bring your book up to get the author and illustrator to sign the books. And that was so much fun.
That's Judy's place, right?
I'm sorry?
Judy's place?
Yes, Creative
Yes.
Space.
Yeah.
We met so many people. It was so much fun. And to get to hear them tell us later about what their child or niece or nephew thought of the book and how excited they were. And the fact that they got to say they met the author was huge.
Yeah.
It was just a huge experience. And then to have all of them take photos of their children reading the books and post them on Rox's page, Facebook page, just is really heartwarming for both of us. And that's just to see their smiles on their faces is everything.
Well, I am just as pleased as all get out to see something positive come out of the pandemic. Because I guess there were a few things, even if it doesn't feel like it, and now that it's pretty much over. Yay. But getting very close. So yeah. Does anybody else in the audience have any questions for our author or illustrator? I mean, if you want to ask one, unmute yourself, ask away.
Yeah, hi, Rox. Are your other books about the Santa Claus one for Christmas in July, the llama and all that, are you going to publish those in Spanish as well?
Yes. So the book that's coming out in July is called Santa Goes Sledding on Christmas Eve. And that is a story in which Santa likes to procrastinate and have fun and doesn't take care of what he needs to do before Christmas Eve. And so basically it leaves you hanging in terms of what is going to go wrong there. But yes, it's available in Spanish. And the other book is also, I'm hoping with the Paco de Alpaca, is that it's actually truly bilingual, where it's Spanish and English in the same book. Because I think there's a demand for that. I think a lot of kids want to learn a different language. But it might be tough to get a completely, Spanish book. So this is a good opportunity to learn that. So again,
Side by side, yes.
Oh, what a cool idea.
Yes. And I've actually in the process met, power of social media again, just met a lot of different authors from Spain and Mexico, Puerto Rico, and they definitely do a lot of bilingual books now. And I thought that was a great idea to showcase both languages on the same book.
When you publish one book, but in two languages, is it really two books with two ISBN numbers?
So as long as it's on the same book, it's one ISBN, but actually I had to get two separate ones for the Spanish and the English. And the Santa book has a hardcover as well, so I had to get four ISBNs. Yeah. So again, it's been a learning process for sure.
It was so confusing.
Yes.
So confusing. I was illustrating and setting up formatting every cover and the back cover and making sure the Spanish one was correct with the correct ISBN number and barcode. And I was learning Spanish along the way. So many times where I'd ask, what does this sentence say? Okay, good, got it.
Yeah. It was.
I felt that I was walking around speaking Spanish. Of course, nobody else understood what I was saying, but Rox.
Putting something together like that's unique and first time ever. It's like wearing oven mitts sometimes, I think, to like typing, and you go, oh, did I get this right? And you can figure that no matter what you do, you're going to get it backwards somehow, and then waste hundreds of dollars or something. So it takes a lot of courage and bravery to do what you and other people have done, publishing themselves with sometimes limited knowledge, just learning by doing. But like, great job.
I do have a question.
Thank you.
I do have a question.
Sure.
Hi.
Hi.
It is so nice to meet you. My question is, I work and I caught that you're a physician and I have children and grandchildren. And how do you, I mean, I write, but I've not published anything, only just like a couple articles at a Christian magazine, but I've never published like novels and stories. I've always wanted to. Where do you find the time to do that? Like, I can't do it every day. I try sometimes very early morning hours, like 5 o'clock in the morning, or how do you break through that?
Yeah, so that's been a challenge because, I work easy 10-hour days nonstop. So I definitely spend half an hour every morning. Usually I wake up 5:45 to like 6:30.
Okay.
And then once my son goes to bed, I usually give it another half hour. But during the pandemic, it was winter. And that's why I decided to publish because, sports were really not happening as much. The hustle and bustle of going place to place was not really there. So I did the bulk of it during early hours and on weekends. But one of
And
my,
then,
yeah, so it took a while for sure. And even now I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm an allergist and it's our busy time of the year. And so, and obviously I definitely want to dedicate myself to my patients first, but also just as important is dedicate myself to my son and my family. So I don't want to shortchange anybody by doing this. So, I think it's a matter of prioritizing, and unfortunately something does have to give. And perhaps going in the treadmill has not happened lately, and it should. But again, it does take a time commitment, but it's just little by little. And that's why I stick to very short stories and, things that are, and just like what Beth was saying, you wake up one day or an idea comes, you write it down and you come back to it. And then you're like, oh, let's do this or let's do that, and go back to it when I can. But what I've learned with self-publishing, and that's the beauty of it, is that you're in control. If it takes you 5 years to publish, there's nobody saying you have to meet this deadline.
oh, okay.
You basically take as long as you want. And that's why I chose to self-publish. I want to make this experience a fun one and not an extra job in a sense. I didn't want to have the stress of, hey, you're not pushing enough books, or you're not, I wanted to take it on my own. So that's been great. The hardest part, which again, I underestimated, is what goes into marketing. I think that writing a book is fun. I think it's difficult. Doing the illustrations has been a new experience. And because I work with such talented illustrator, it was easy for me and a lot of fun just to watch everything come to life. But then when it came to marketing, it's like, okay, I have this book. Why is nobody buying it? Oh, because
Now
you
what?
have not
Yeah.
seen this book before. So again, that's also been a learning experience. So watching a lot of YouTube videos and just learning from others, learning from other authors, what they've been through and hearing their story and what sort of tips they have. So again, a lot of time in social media trying to meet everybody and learn from them.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
great. Thanks for the question. I think we got time for one more question if anybody's got one. Anybody?
Hi, Dr. Siles. You are just so wonderful and so incredibly talented. We are the biggest fans of Charlie the Turtle over here, and I think we've read that book at least once every day since we've gotten the book. Is there any chance that we're going to see Charlie on any other adventures?
Oh, that is a good question. We love Charlie, and maybe we'll have Charlie meet Paco de Alpaca at some point. And, again, Charlie's been so dear to me because he was so special from the beginning. You saw the picture of that my son did. Sammy, do you have a question?
Yes. will we see Charlie's Halloween costume when he goes if he goes trick or treating?
Oh my, you know what? That would be so much fun, but maybe we can get Monica to make a big Charlie the Turtle in Halloween for us on the sidewalk so we could see him as we walk the streets. How's that sound?
A preview.
I love it. I
Right.
love it.
Yes.
I was drawing so many turtles that I started seeing turtles everywhere. On TV, a newscaster, I was like, doesn't he look like a turtle? He just looked at me. Maybe I've been drawing turtles way too many times.
Turtles all the way down.
But
All
you
the
do
way
an
down.
amazing job. So, and
Thank you.
thank you so much for the support to the Murray family.
Yes, thank you for joining us and everything. So with that, I wanted to say thank you to our author and illustrator, Rox and Monica, for being here tonight, sharing her book. Again, you can pick it up at the library, check it out. It's probably got a hold list now, so we're going to need a few more copies.
Yes.
But anyway, look, and you can get your own copy, of course, at Barnes and Noble and at Amazon. This has been Read Write Local Unbound, where writers, readers, and other people get to meet, talk about things, learn about things. And we're here every Tuesday night, all summer, same URL, same time, meet different authors. So be here every Tuesday night for a new author. The whole schedule's on the library webpage. And we thank all of you for coming out tonight. So have a good evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. See you next week, everybody.